Hi, everybody. So I just got back from another New York trip. While we were up there, we actually went down to Philadelphia for a day to visit a sturgeon farm. It's the Paskew family on Instagram. They go by King Caviar. But yeah, they're actually raising sturgeon for caviar, and then they also sell to individuals with ponds. So yeah, here is their main pond section. You can see they got these big four tanks, absolutely packed full of sturgeon. They have four different types. Here are some of the high white diamond sturgeons, the ones that really stand out. But we'll take a closer look at all the sturgeon. Yeah, sturgeon are really underrated in the aquarium pond hobby in the US. You can see they keep the water really dark in here. The sturgeon actually prefer that. They're used to kind of murky river bottoms. This is one of those high white diamonds though, and they're absolutely beautiful. The scutes on them, those big rows of scales. But yeah, they're totally doable in your average koi pond. The diamonds get large, but sterlets are a small species that they actually are keeping here too and selling. But here is one of those high white diamonds. You can see they actually have a smaller row of scutes in between their main rows that are just beautiful, the contrast. Then they also had a row of grow out tanks or holding tanks over here, and this is where we can really get a good look. I believe these are regular diamond or Russian sturgeons, the big gray guys, just like mine at home. And then there were also albino sterlets. Sterlets are the one most people should be looking at for their koi ponds. They stay about the same size as koi. Captive max is probably about 3 foot on a very large one. But yeah, these albino sterlets are super pretty. They've got a much sharper shape to them. Pointed nose, pointed fins, and that bright white color. That'll look amazing. I did definitely pick one out for the eel pit. So I'm hoping to get that later this week. I'll show the exact ones I pick here at the end. But yeah, all the sterlets, and then I believe they're regular diamonds in here, just like mine at home. I just really love how perfect these albinos look. There's like a caramel colored one there. But yeah, here they are. I definitely want to focus on sterlets like long term in the eel pit. I may rehome my diamond sturgeons and to do a group of 3 sterlets. Not completely sure yet, but just them maxing out at a much smaller size would be really cool. I think this one here is the one I want. Just super bright white, perfect fins, and then its scutes down its back are almost a yellow color. Really pretty fish. I can't wait to get one in the eel pit. On my darker substrate, I think this bright white will look amazing. They're also raising right now for, they'll be available here soon, Siberian sturgeon, and then there's more high white diamonds in this group also. That'll, as they kind of get a little bit more size to them, they'll start to get those high white scutes on them. The Siberians are supposed to be one of the hardiest sturgeon though. If you've got the space and want something a little more foolproof than some of the other sturgeons, probably the Siberian would be the way to start. Keeping sturgeons is definitely not the easiest fish to keep, but in a big enough pond, most importantly, they need super high oxygen, especially going into the summer months. They really do like cold water. As the water temperature gets like 75 range, that's when they can actually start suffocating just because the oxygen in the water is going to lower. But I have seen people keeping them in warm water with enough oxygen. That'll be my biggest kind of threat going forward in the summer, but the eel pit being 8 foot underground, that's definitely going to insulate and save me from a lot of trouble. The next big consideration when keeping sturgeon is what to feed them. They really do need a sturgeon-specific pellet. I've seen oftentimes where people will feed them, what they feed kind of other large predatory fish, and it's just not enough protein for them. They really need something formulated specifically for sturgeon. If you feed them like diced up market shrimp and tilapia, trying to feed them, the best things you can at the grocery store, they'll even still kind of wither away and get skinny over time. So really a high protein, good sturgeon specific food is what you need. Or people put them in a koi pond and try to just feed them koi pellets. It just doesn't end up working out long term. They'll just get skinny and kind of wither away. Here's some of these different diamond sturgeons, regulars and high whites. This one here, all that the smaller spotting. Such pretty fish. These guys are out of my price range though. The high whites are definitely expensive. Sturgeon in general, especially once it's already got some size to it, are pretty pricey fish. But this high white here is Amazing look in the colors. So the rounded fins, those are actually from when they were young, being kept in like smaller tubs. A certain amount of the sturgeon will naturally kind of get those rounded fins just based off container size. All these high whites. Then this here is probably one of the most spectacular sturgeon species and one of the more delicate ones. These are stellatus sturgeon, also known as starry sturgeon. And then here's an albino sterlet. But yeah, the starries are really a rare one in captivity. Definitely more delicate. They get some beautiful patterns. Then this here is actually a fully mature female sterlet. Like I was saying, these guys definitely stay the smallest. This is actually a 3-year-old female, and she has eggs for the first time. So they're actually not selling the regular sterlets currently, just because they all are mature right now. So for caviar, that's what they're raising these mainly for. But I would love to have a regular sterlet eventually. I think I want one regular one albino, and then one of like the caramel albinos. But yeah, here you can really see a 3-year-old sterlet, not too crazy big, and it's a egg-holding female, so it won't get too much larger than this, really. They never really stop growing, but they definitely massively slow down after this point. It could take it 10 years to hit another foot after this point, when it got this big in 3 years. Such amazing fish. But yeah, I am on the search for a regular sterlet. Then this is actually a diamond or a Russian sturgeon. They've had this one the longest. This was from their original batch of sturgeon. His name is Sturgeon, and he's actually eating pellets out of my hand while they hold him. They've got him hand tame over the years to where they can actually scoop him up like a cat and he'll eat out of your hand, which is crazy to see. But anyway, back to my sturgeon. Here is the sterlet I picked out. Notice those yellow scutes. I absolutely love that. And then just how perfect the sterlets look. I mean, they're just such a pointed, they look fake. They really look like a fake fish. And then I did definitely want one of these stellatus. It's definitely going to be more fragile than any of the others, but I want to take that risk because they actually stay thin. So they're like a very eel-shaped body. A really weird-looking sturgeon, not like any of the other sturgeon species that you see around. But yeah, they let me kind of rent out a holding tank and put the fish I wanted in there. I love those yellow scutes on him. Then there is the stellatus, absolutely beautiful. Like the high white diamonds, a little bit cheaper, but absolutely beautiful. Then the albino sterlet there. I can't wait to get these in the pit where they have all that room on the natural substrate too. Such amazing fish. The starries, there's just nothing else like them. They keep that long, slender body. But yeah, huge shout out to the Past You family. I'll leave a link down to their Instagram page in the description and probably the top comment. If you want any sturgeon, hit them up. They've got a huge selection of them. The sterlets, I really wish more people in America were keeping them. They're super popular in Europe, but just kind of starting up in America. I really enjoyed visiting their family farm. I really hope to do more of these kind of aquaculture facility tours going forward. We'll see if anyone has or knows of an aquaculture facility that would be open to giving me a tour. Please let me know. I love traveling, so I'd love to go see what's out there and see how other places do things. I really don't think there's a huge risk of the diamonds outgrowing my eel pit. Captive max is usually 4 to 5 foot, and that's after like 10 years. Speaking of which, here's my diamonds. You can just see how active and healthy they are. I really do love the clear water I've got mine in. They go around, come right up and eat. There's one of the eels there. Yeah, my two are named Caviar and Roe. I've had them a decent amount of time now, a few months, and they've definitely gained weight and are growing good. I don't think I'll have any issues with the stellatus or the sterlets in here. And you can see there's still plenty of room around in the eel pit. But I definitely am kind of gonna be maxing out here soon on fish I can add. Especially with I've still got the albino and platinum alligator gars to put down here, garlic and Garfield. So at that point I'll really tone down how much I'm adding to the eel pit. Probably just do some smaller dither fish at that point, no more large fish. But I wouldn't mind picking up another sterlet or two eventually. Here you can see one of the American eels coming right up looking for food. They do nip me here and there, but it really doesn't hurt at all. Kind of like a sandpaper pinch. Yeah, that's the eel pit. Thanks for watching.